hate me, don't you?
Tune in to Kons Podcast.
You hate me, don't you? 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 You hate me, don't you?
First up, send an update on the helicopter crash that crashed out here on the freeway. You know what I mean? Update on that, I believe I showed y'all the clips they showed the people that was getting the helicopter off of a woman. It was another helicopter crash in Huntington Beach. You know what I'm saying? Another one in Huntington Beach on Friday, injuring 5 people, 2 on board, and I think 3 of pedestrians. They said it was supposed to be a part of some event called a fundraiser called Cops and Copters. They said the helicopter was registered to a veteran named Eric Nixon. There was also a massive explosion out in Tennessee at some type of explosives facility, military explosive facility, leaving what believed to be no survivors. The escapee, these 10 of these escaped from New Orleans out there from the prison, and they was all escaped. They had caught all of them except for one last one, Derek Groves. You feel me? She was definitely on the job at the time, you know what I'm saying? So it's just a very unfortunate situation, you know what I mean? But it could have happened to anybody, you know what I'm saying? Nobody knows when it's your time to go, you know what I mean? Yeah, what's going on? What's happening? What is going on? You know what I'm saying? Kons Podcast, you feel me? Episode 315 today, you know what I mean? Episode 315. You know what I'm saying? How y'all doing on this good, fine Monday? You know what I mean? It's nice and cool out here. You know what I'm saying? 66 degrees. It looks like it's going to be that all day. Definitely going to get some rain today out here. You know what I mean? Overcast, gray clouds. I love it. That's the type of weather I've been looking for. You know what I mean? Been waiting for all year. You know what I'm saying? We know Sac don't get cold. It stays hot 10 months out of the year. You know what I mean? We definitely got to break with that heat this summer around. We didn't have too many 100-degree days, you know what I'm saying? But I hope everybody Monday is doing cool, you know what I mean? It's a fine Monday, nice and gloomy today, like I said, you know what I mean? Hope everybody is starting y'all Monday off productive and cool. Hope ain't nobody getting on your nerves. Hope you ain't got the Monday blues too much, you know what I'm saying, to start this week off. But it's a good thing that you starting it off with Kons Podcast, you know what I'm saying? You know, I got some updates for you, a couple of topics, you know what I mean? No need to go into no recap. As I said before, we're not going to do recaps on Mondays, you know what I mean? But that was Friday's episode, but it's there. Episode 314, if you want to go check that out, you know what I mean? But yeah, I got a few topics today, you know what I'm saying? Today we're just going to be touching on the update on that helicopter that crashed out here on the freeway. I got an update on that. Also, another helicopter crash happened in Huntington Beach on Friday. I got a story and the news clips on that. And also there was a massive explosion in Tennessee at a military explosives facility. You know what I'm saying? Also, they have finally caught the final dude who escaped from that prison in New Orleans. You know what I mean? We're going to touch on all of that, and then it's going to be my final thoughts on these subjects and topics. You feel me? But without no more further ado, you know what I'm saying? Without no more chit chat in case you're wondering, you know what I'm saying? If you just now hit that subscribe button, you're wondering what this channel's about. This is what this channel's about. You know what I mean? It's where we go over the news, go over headlines, go over whatever you may have seen whenever you first clicked on the internet. Whether your homepage is MSNBC, Yahoo News, Google News, Hip Hop DX, wherever you get your news source from, I'm probably touching on one of them headlines right here on Kons Podcast. You know what I mean? Tell your friends about it, share this, and keep it locked. But yeah, without no more chit-chat or bench load, like I started to say, let's go ahead and jump into these topics. You feel me? So first up, send an update on the helicopter crash that crashed out here on the freeway. You know what I mean? Update on that, I believe I showed y'all the clips they had to show the people that was getting the helicopter off of a woman. You know what I'm saying? That woman was later to find out her name was Susie Smith. She was a nurse, and she had unfortunately passed away a few days after that due to her injuries from that helicopter. You know what I'm saying? Unfortunately. So rest in peace to Susie Smith. The next clips you're going to see is just a little dedication of who she was. They had her procession, I believe, earlier today or sometime earlier in last week. You know what I mean? But you're going to see all that in the next little clip on the news report of Susie Smith. Check this clip out.
I've been following this helicopter crash closely, and today there was a procession for Nurse Susie Smith. She died days after the helicopter she was on board crashed onto the Sacramento freeway. So many of you have shared how she has made an impact personally in your lives. Complete strangers are learning about the legacy she's leaving behind. Here's the piece we put together tonight showing that procession. Loved ones, first responders, strangers, they all showed up big today to honor Nurse Susie Smith. In her line of work, Susie saw firsthand daily that every second of life is precious, and her loved ones say Susie chose to spend her time helping others and building communities. The final flight for Susie Smith. Flown home. Her flag-draped casket slowly carried as fellow first responders lined the tarmac at the Red Bluff Airport to say a painful goodbye.
Just right here, what you see right here, that is evidence of who she was.
Whether you knew Susie well,
she's touched my life and my family's life,
or are just learning her story.
I didn't know her personally, but I know she'll be terribly missed.
Many were praying she'd pull through, but hundreds showed up to honor Susie, who died days after the medical helicopter she was on board crashed onto a Sacramento freeway.
What do we say? We're gonna miss her.
50 years of nursing, 21 spent as a flight nurse with Reach. Susie was devoted to saving lives and then found herself on the other side.
Just want to really be there and honor that sacrifice and that life that she was so dedicated to.
Susie regularly went on medical mission trips to Nicaragua, providing critical care for people in the third world country. But her loved ones say the strong Christian woman viewed every aspect of life as a mission field.
she really loved the Lord, and like her life was dedicated to service.
She was a great friend, family.
Udwig Ortega says Susie regularly came into her restaurant, and the community, young and old, can learn a lot from her character.
The last thing what we want to do for Susie is this, show how much we love her and how much we love the family.
This may be Susie's final flight, but her legacy is just taking off. Susie's family tells me that a memorial foundation called Our Angel That Flies Foundation is being created to honor Susie's legacy. They say it will be established to further the work Susie started in the mission field, nursing scholarships, and other causes she was passionate about.
All right, thanks, Tori. Now,
see, you know what I'm saying? That was just news reports letting you know other details on the woman that passed away from the helicopter crash out here in Sacramento. It was another helicopter crash in Huntington Beach. You know what I'm saying? Another one in Huntington Beach on Friday, injuring 5 people, 2 on board, and I think 3 of pedestrians. They said it was supposed to be a part of some event called a fundraiser called Cops and Copters. They said the helicopter was registered to a veteran named Eric Nixon. Were on the social media, shows him doing a bunch of different daring stunts in that helicopter, flying next to buildings and so on. A piece of the propeller had flew off before the helicopter started to spiral out the sky, out of control, and crashing down on some steps into the nearby beach building that was there. You know what I'm saying? I believe the pilot, he was ejected and was on the steps underneath the helicopter. I believe he crushed 2 of his spinal cord bones. Last I had read about this. You know what I'm saying? So next little clip you're about to see is just a clip of the incident and the news report on this the second helicopter crash in Huntington Beach. Check it out.
Oh my God! Hate me, don't you?
I changed his mind. Oh no! Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh my God!
How many helicopters is this, George? Bell 222, okay.
California now, and new details following a terrifying helicopter crash at Huntington Beach, south of Los Angeles. It happened Saturday. The chopper suddenly spinning out of control and falling from the sky. CBS's Andreas Gutierrez is there for us tonight. Andreas?
Good evening, Kelly. Tonight, the crushed cockpit of that helicopter is still resting on that staircase more than 24 hours after the chopper spiraled out of the sky. Today, investigators from the NTSB and FAA were out here collecting evidence, trying to figure out what went wrong.
Whoa! Oh my God! Beachgoers could do nothing but watch as this Bell 222 helicopter spun out of control Saturday afternoon. It slammed into palm trees in front of a hotel here in Huntington Beach.
I hear this odd sound that didn't sound right. I look down and I see the helicopter spiraling out of control.
Whoa. As it was spinning, a piece of what appears to be part of the tail broke away.
Oh no! Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh my God!
The palm trees prevented a direct collision between the helicopter and a pedestrian bridge connecting the hotel and the Pacific Coast Highway.
I thought that thing was going to land. I didn't even have a chance to look up. I was dodging to the parking lot.
FAA records show the helicopter is registered to Eric Nixon. His social media shows him performing daring stunt flights. First responders and onlookers pulled Nixon and his passenger from the cockpit. Wow. 3 pedestrians were also injured. Tonight they're still hospitalized, but their conditions are unknown.
Now, officials do confirm that this helicopter was scheduled to be part of today's fundraiser called Cops and Copters. That event wrapping up as we speak. They add the aircraft is more than 45 years old.
You know what I'm saying? That was a news report letting you know about a whole nother helicopter crash in Huntington Beach. You know what I'm saying? It happened on Friday, you know what I mean? There was also a massive explosion out in Tennessee at some type of explosives facility, military explosive facility, leaving what believed to be no survivors. The plant's name was Accurate Energetic Systems. They said body parts and remains are scattered all about the property, and 300 people been searching for missing people. They said it was about 18 people missing, and probably those 18 are definitely going to be unalived. Nothing from what has been said as to what triggered the explosion, but they said they're not ruling out terrorism just yet. In these next clips, you're going to see reports of the explosion that happened in Tennessee at a military explosives facility Friday night. Here go that clip. You're going to see a clip of somebody speaking on it and also a clip of the coverage on it. Check these clips out.
Breaking news coming out of the state of Tennessee. Multiple people killed after a powerful blast ripped through a military explosives manufacturing plant in the state. Here's what we know. Local officials say that some fatalities, at least 13 people missing in the blast. Take a look at the aftermath. You see the widespread destruction here. The explosion happened at a company named Accurate Energetic Systems. That is in a rural city about 100 kilometers outside of Nashville, Tennessee. Some residents within 20 minutes of the manufacturer saying they felt their homes shake and heard the explosions. Again, some people are still unaccounted for after the blast. We do believe that there have been fatalities as well. We don't know how many, but we will keep our eye on that story coming out of Tennessee.
The explosion happened just before 8 this morning.
Had an explosion at Accurate Arms. Everybody is en route.
Aerial footage shortly after showed a building at Accurate Energetic Systems, a munitions plant 60 miles southwest of Nashville, completely leveled. All that remained, smoking debris and charred cars nearby.
There's nothing to describe. It's gone. It's it's the most devastating scene that I've seen in my career.
The explosion so powerful it shook homes miles away. This security video captured the moment of the blast. First responders in Tennessee devastated by the search for the missing.
We have been able to confirm that we do have 19 souls. That we're looking for.
At least 4 others were taken to the hospital. Accurate Energetic Systems handles military-grade explosives and ammunitions, including TNT. Officials say this investigation could take weeks.
We're going to be slow, methodical, and diligent, and do everything that we can to make sure this is what it is.
No survivors found in that explosion over there in Tennessee. Reports are coming out that over 300 people were looking for survivors. At this point, there's nobody that's been recovered. And so far as I'm making this post, as I'm getting the updated information, there has been no survivors that have been found as of yet. But the reports are coming out that it's not a search and rescue anymore. It's more of who can be identified. So an announcement of a confirmation can come out with who has lost their lives. The initial report said there was 18 people that were missing, with several deaths that have been confirmed. Now it looks like with those several deaths that have been confirmed, that they're about to add an additional 18 to that list. They say as they continue to do that search that they are finding remains of people that have been caught in that explosion. That body parts are scattered. That body parts are scattered through the property. Once that part is over with, they're bringing in a very special team to find out what actually caused this explosion. And as of now, they have not ruled out terrorist actions. All we can do now is pray for the families that have been left behind. To the people of Tennessee, we say that we are so sorry for your loss, that you have comfort, that your families are with their Lord and their Savior, and hopefully in a much better place, shining their light down upon all of you.
You know what I'm saying? That was letting you know about that explosion that happened out there in Tennessee at a military explosives facility, probably unaliving everybody. Yo, what's up? What's happening? You know what I'm saying? Just in case this is interrupting my episode of your current events, news, interrupting your headlines, all the info that you getting from this episode, you know what I'm saying? I'm interrupting to let you know. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you ain't. You know what I'm saying? Hit that subscribe button. I promise you won't be disappointed. You know what I mean? It's a quick little insert reminding you to hit that subscribe button. If you ain't hit it yet, go ahead and hit it now. Now is your time. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead and do that while I'm pausing this information, pausing these headlines, pausing these current events that you're getting hit with. Now is your time to go ahead and hit that subscribe button and comment on something that you've been thinking about, that you've seen in this episode that you wanted to say. Go ahead and comment that. You know what I mean? And go ahead and hit the like button too if you like it. You know what I'm saying? If you like this content, that's KONTENT. You know what I mean? But yeah, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and tell your friends about it. You know what I mean? Thank you for tuning in. You know what I'm saying? Let's get back to this episode. Get back to this good information that I'm feeding in your brain. They also finally caught the escapee. The one, they is 10 of these escaped from New Orleans out there from the prison, and they was all escaped. They had caught all of them except for one last one, Derek Groves. They had finally caught him. No, he was the last one that they needed to catch out of the ones that escaped. They had finally caught all of them now. They finally caught up to Derek Groves. He was the last dude to escape from New Orleans when all the inmates escaped from prison out there was on the run for 100 and something days, about 6 months. Back in May when this happened, they caught all but one, I think 10 of them. You know what I'm saying? They found him in a house in Atlanta with a bunch of snacks and drug paraphernalia, a bunch of backwood wrappers, Swisher guts, a bunch of switches, and a whole bunch of stuff all over, scattered all over the floor in the house where they found him at, being just confined in a small crawl space is where they found him. You know what I'm saying? Some people in the comments are saying that somebody ratted on him, and some people are saying that he was having an argument with his girlfriend at the time, which led to a bunch of tip-offs to the police. These next little clips what you're about to see is first a news coverage on the escapee Derek Groves that they had recently caught. Check this clip out.
Tonight, after 5 months on the run, the suspect convicted of double murder, the last of 10 escapees to break out of that jail in New Orleans, found several states away. And tonight, you're going to see the images of the standoff. Authorities actually using gas canisters to move him through the house to arrest him. Here's Faith Abube.
Tonight, 5 months after a brazen jailbreak in New Orleans, a convicted double murderer now captured at this home in Atlanta, ending a multi-state manhunt. SWAT teams surrounding 28-year-old Derek Groves, the last of 10 escapees. A tip leading to an hours-long standoff. A police canine finding the murderer in a makeshift crawl space, according to officials. This was the dramatic scene back in May. Stunning surveillance video showing those 10 inmates escaping. Officials say they opened a faulty cell door, ripped a toilet off the wall, squeezed through a gap, and left this taunting message scribbled above the hole. Too easy. Tonight, authorities grateful no one was hurt.
And David, Groves will be transferred to Louisiana to face more charges.
You know what I'm saying? They finally caught the last dude. I guess he was barely arguing with his girl. Got tipped off. Police got tipped off shortly after that. You know what I mean? But yeah, that's all the clips I got for today, though. You know what I'm saying? That's all the clips I got for today. That's everything I had for today. You know what I mean? Quick little recap of what we just went over. Tonight, I'll just let you know, update on that helicopter crash that happened out here in Sacramento. A woman lost her life by the name of Susie Smith. She was a nurse. Rest in peace to her. Also, I'll let you know about another helicopter crash that was in Huntington Beach on Friday. Injured 5 people, 2 on board, and injured 3 pedestrians that was at the scene. Also, let you know about a massive explosion that happened out in Tennessee at a military explosives facility, unaliving everybody, leaving body parts scattered across the property, and some more gruesome details. Also, let you know that they finally caught the final guy, Derek Groves, one of the escapees who escaped from that New Orleans prison and was on the run since last May. They finally caught him. That's everything we went over tonight. You know what I'm saying? That's everything I have for you today. So for the final and closing thoughts on these topics, you know what I'm saying? So an update on that helicopter that crashed out here in Sac. You know what I mean? It's sad to hear that the lady that they was lifting the helicopter off of had lost her life. You know what I mean? Unfortunately, she did not make it. She did not make it after her wounds. Who knows what the helicopter, what organs it could have crushed, what it could have been on. Who knows? But it's all bad when the helicopter was on her and they had to lift it to get it off her. You know what I'm saying? Unfortunately, she lost her life. You know what I mean? So rest in peace to Susie Smith was her name. She was a nurse and she was well loved, as you've seen in the news clip. You know what I mean? It's very unfortunate, you know what I'm saying, to go out in a helicopter crash like that, you know what I'm saying, on the job at that. You feel me? She was definitely on the job at the time, you know what I'm saying? So it's just a very unfortunate situation. You know what I mean? But it could have happened to anybody, you know what I'm saying? Nobody knows when it's your time to go, you know what I mean? Or how you're going to go, or whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying? We don't know how that's going to happen, but we all are for sure that it will happen one of these days. You know what I mean? So rest in peace to Susie Smith, though. Also, actress Diane Keaton. You know what I mean? I didn't put that in here, but she had also passed away. She was in movies like The Godfather. You know what I mean? She was a big role in that. A couple other movies she was in, you know what I'm saying? But rest in peace to Diane Keaton. She also passed away. I believe she was 79. Put that in here, but yeah. Another helicopter crash happened in Huntington Beach. Man, what is going on with these helicopters dropping out of the sky? It seemed like once crash happened, more of them just happened with the same type of aircraft. Like, what is going on? Are these helicopters made at the same time in the same facility and they have the same lifespan on parts? How does a propeller just fly off the helicopter when it's in flight? I just don't understand, you know what I'm saying? But this was dude's helicopter. He'd been doing stunts in it, so who knows what type of maintenance that he was doing on that helicopter, you know what I'm saying? Who knows what he was doing, you know what I mean? If he kept it up or anything. This was a personal helicopter. This wasn't really like a nurse or a military or medical helicopter, you know what I'm saying, or anything of that nature. This was dude's personal joint that apparently he'd be doing stunts and all that, and they looked at his social media, you know what I mean? The dude who was driving it The dude named Eric Nixon, you know what I'm saying? But it's all bad though, you know what I mean? I don't think nobody was unalive though, you know what I'm saying? I heard a child was one of the ones that was under the helicopter, which is definitely all bad for that, you know what I mean? But it's crazy that you just hear about one and then boom, another one. It's the same thing we was going through when we were seeing the airplane crashes, you know what I'm saying? Boom, you hear one and then literally that same week you hear another one. Then the same week you hear about a third one, you know what I'm saying? What is happening with planes and helicopters falling out of the sky? You know what I mean? We have seen that, at least in my lifetime, more than I have ever seen that I can remember. You know what I mean? These days with these helicopters and planes just crashing, dropping out of the sky is wild business. You know what I'm saying? Is it conspiracy or not? Like, what is happening? You know what I mean? But yeah, I think it's crazy that two of them happened in the span of about 3 days. Is wild work, you know what I'm saying? But good thing nobody was unalived initially, you know what I mean? But Susie Smith definitely did lose her life in the first one, though, you know what I mean? Unfortunately. Yeah, helicopter at Huntington Beach. A massive explosion out there in Tennessee. Weapons, a military explosives facility, you know what I'm saying? Boom! You know what I mean? That explosion had to be something large. You know what I mean? As you seen on the clip there, you know what I'm saying? You can see the camera that covered the explosion. You know what I mean? You see the mushroom cloud and all that. This was something big, especially y'all was housing explosives and artillery and ammunition and all that. You know what I mean? That just amplifies the explosion. They said there was body parts just scattered around, laying all over the property. Lord, that had to be something gruesome to see. All of them people who was searching and looking, they're gonna need therapy classes. You know what I'm saying? Who knows if these people have seen anything like that before? You know what I mean? But it's crazy though that this just blew up. They're not saying there was no terrorist act or nothing like that as of yet. You know what I'm saying? But yo, this is wild. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people lost their lives. You know what I mean? I think 18 is what they at right now. You know what I'm saying? Which is crazy. You know what I'm saying? They come to work and boom, a whole facility blown up. I mean, it is blown to nothing. You know what I'm saying? It's just a dirt property now. You know what I mean? Ain't even a foundation sitting there no more. You know what I'm saying? So this is just the type of level of explosion that it was. You know what I mean? The level didn't leave nothing standing behind. You know what I mean? That's crazy. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what happened with that. Hopefully it ain't nothing to do with terrorism, because otherwise we finna definitely go into a full-on war if that was to go down. And it's due to terrorist attacks. You know what I'm saying? They finally caught the last dude, you know what I'm saying? Derek Groves, he been on the run for a minute. You feel me? Finally caught dude, though. You know what I'm saying? They finally caught up with dude. A lot of people saying he was ratted on. But it was only a matter of time, though. You know what I'm saying? Before somebody caught dude, you ain't gonna be escaping from prison and think he's just finna be out here thugging it on the run. You know what I mean? He ain't got a cut. You know what I'm saying? Fresh taper and all that. When they was arresting him, you feel me? He blew a kiss to the camera, man. Yourself, no, man. That's wild, though. You know what I'm saying? You was out here. I hope you lived your life and did everything you wanted to do, man. You feel me? Because they finna, who knows what they finna do now that they done caught you after you done escaped from their facility. They feel away that you got away. You know what I'm saying? So they definitely ain't gonna play with you now. You know what I'm saying? But I think he know that, though. You know what I mean? I think he was facing like a double homicide or something like that. So it was pretty much over for him anyway. You know what I mean? But yeah, they finally caught all the dudes, you know what I'm saying? He was in the little crawl space up there chilling. I guess rolling up, eating hella snacks, got the munchies, you know what I'm saying? But I guess it was his girl's house. I don't know. It was all the way in Atlanta, you know what I'm saying? Came all the way from New Orleans. But yeah, they finally got dude. That's crazy though. But it was only a matter of time. You know what I mean? Because that make the city look bad. They're not going to just let you be out there, you know what I'm saying, without giving up, you know what I mean? Yeah, no matter how long it take, you know what I'm saying? And plus, people rat, you know what I mean? People won't rat. So that's another thing why it's hard to be on the run out here. It was only a matter of time for that car dude. It's too much tech out here watching us, you know what I'm saying? We got electric eyes everywhere we go. Every intersection, every building, every place you walk into, every time you go get some food, go through a drive-thru, like you are being recorded. This is a surveillance state everywhere, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, tech is too much for criminals these days to get away with anything. But yeah, you know what I mean? That's my closing and final thoughts on these subjects. You know what I'm saying? This has been episode 315. You know what I'm saying? Thank all y'all for tuning in and watching. You feel me? Because you could have been doing anything you wanted to do, no matter who you was. You know what I mean? Whether you was a little brother, a little sister, whether you was a niece, a nephew, whether you was a mother, a father, grandfather, grandma. You know what I'm saying? You could have been cousin Pookie, cousin Mookie, cousin Man, cousin Pete. You know what I'm saying? Whoever you is, and if y'all got pets, and y'all pets is sitting there too, right along with you, whether your pet is a cat, a dog, you have a pet alligator, a pet gerbil, you have a pet hedgehog, a squirrel, you have a pet goldfish, you know what I'm saying? You can have a pet bearded dragon, a pet lizard, a pet dragon, whoever your pet is, you feel me? If they watching Kons Podcast, I definitely with them, you know what I mean? Salute to them like you see the homie scrolling up the screen. You know what I'm saying? The beat you hear creeping up in the background was made by none other than Amazing Beats. You feel me? So let Amazing, you feel me? Holler at you on the background while these credits roll up the screen. You know what I'm saying? It's been episode 315. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching. And thank you for letting me keep you updated on this wicked world. You know what I mean?
You hate me, don't you? You hate me, don't you? You hate me, don't you?
Yo, what's up? You could have been doing anything you wanted to do right now at this point in time, but you chose to come with Kons Podcast. And for that, I fuck you. So go on and hit that subscribe button. Do that right now. And this slow insert in the middle of the video. You feel me? It's your time to go to hit that subscribe button if you ain't hit it all. Whoa, what's happening? What's happening? You going on? What's going on? You feel me? It's Kons Podcast. You know what I'm saying? So now's the time for you to hit that subscribe button. You feel me? Yo, what's up? What's up? What's up? What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? Yeah, if you liking all this daily content that I'm posting Monday through Friday, you know what I'm saying? That you get Kons Podcast. You know what I mean? I'm hitting you with something about these headlines, about these news, updating you on current shit that I might have talked about previously. If you Kons Podcast, hit that subscribe button. Now's your time to do that.
They don't know what the fuck they're doing. You understand that? That? You hate me, don't you?